I felt it before the words even left his mouth, the sharp, calculated sting of my father's sarcasm. "Look who showed up in Goodwill clothes," he boomed. Scanning the room like a judge ready to pass sentence, my daughter's face fell instantly. Her fingers tightened around the hem of the simple dress she had chosen herself, never imagining that kindness could be mocked so easily. Laughter burst out around us, loud and cruel. My chest tightened. I started to speak, but my husband's hand closed gently over mine. He said nothing. He didn't have to. The calm smile on his face carried something powerful underneath. Then, he pulled out his phone. One smooth movement, a quick tap, and the family group chat filled the screen for everyone to see. There it was, every message, every screenshot, every lie laid out with brutal clarity. The laughter stopped, eyes widened. My father's smug expression cracked. He froze, caught halfway between pride and insult, control slipping from his grip. I took a slow breath and let the moment land. I remembered the first time I truly knew my father. He was charming, magnetic, the kind of man who could pull an entire room into his orbit. I trusted him completely. Every smile, every piece of advice, every shared confidence felt like another brick in the wall protecting our family. But that wall had fractures I couldn't see. Over the years, those fractures spread. Missed phone calls, invitations that never came, subtle jabs at my choices and my daughter's. At first they seemed harmless, but the pattern was undeniable. The betrayal didn't arrive loudly, it crept in quietly. And I learned that whispers can be far more dangerous than shouts. The first solid proof hit me like a bullet. I found the message buried among ordinary family chatter, something that looked accidental, but wasn't. He had lied about my mother's birthday gift, mishandled family money, twisted stories to paint himself as a hero while erasing me. My heart stopped, then started again, steady and cold. Anger could have destroyed me, but I refused it. Anger is sloppy, justice is careful. I planned every step, measured every move, recorded every detail. I didn't confront him. I watched. I listened. I documented everything. I knew timing mattered just as much as proof. Quietly, I built what I needed: financial records, phone backups, photos, witnesses. Even my daughter's Goodwill dress became a symbol, a small spark in a much larger plan. My husband, patient and sharp, stood beside me without a word, matching my calm with his own quiet strength. I let them believe they were winning. I smiled when they bragged, nodded when they lied, pretended not to notice when they assumed I was clueless. Every joke about my daughter, every gathering, every whispered insult became part of the structure they were building themselves, one that would eventually collapse. The birthday party was a perfect stage. I knew my father would show up. I knew my daughter would wear that dress. I knew the laughter would come. Everything had to happen at exactly the right moment. My husband, always alert, was ready for the final move, the phone, the evidence, the truth exposed. When he held it up, I felt nothing but calm, no fear, no anger, just certainty. My father's eyes flicked from the screen to me, then to my husband, then back again. His carefully built world started to fall apart in slow motion. The group chat held everything he thought he had hidden, every secret, every manipulation, every betrayal he believed no one would ever see. I stayed silent. There was nothing to say. The quiet in the room spoke louder than any accusation. He tried to respond, but the words wouldn't come. The room seemed to stop breathing. My daughter looked up at me, her hands shaking just slightly, and I gave her a small, steady nod. Courage doesn't always shout. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's lethal. I replay that moment, often the shock on his face, the instant his power drained away, the realization that he had lost control. I remember the discipline it took to wait, the care behind every step that led there. That was the moment he understood who truly held power in that room. Not my daughter, not my husband, not even himself, me. I had waited, I had planned, I had followed through, and what I held wasn't revenge fueled by rage, but something stronger: justice. Later, when the noise returned and the party stumbled back into normalcy, I stood off to the side and let the relief wash over me. My daughter came to me, her cheeks flushed, her eyes wide, and whispered a shaky thank you. I smiled at her, a smile filled with love and quiet triumph. My father left early, shoulders stiff, pride shattered, dignity gone. I didn't celebrate, I didn't mock him, I didn't need to. The lesson had already been delivered. He had underestimated me. He had underestimated the quiet strength of a woman who had been hurt, who had been patient, who had been watching all along. And now everything had changed. I had changed. I had risen silently, calculated, composed, victorious. The laughter never returned.